I'm on here to do DeStress. Then I'm just going to do a little talk. I'll do a meditation first, which is always really nice. I find guided meditations to be really, really helpful in kind of calming me down, calming my nervous system down, especially after a day of work and, dealing with people and dealing with situations and those types of things. So I think meditation is really, really helpful. Let's do meditation. So what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes. This will just be quick. Close your eyes. And then just breathe. Just breathe, relaxed breath. Just feel it. No effort involved. Don't try to control the breath. Just feel it going in and out of your chest, out of your body. And as you feel that breath going in and out of your body, as it comes in through your nostrils, just feel it, and feel it as it starts to fill up your chest, fills up your chest cavity. Chest expands as it takes in that deep, nourishing breath that we all need. And then exhale it. Next breath, just allow it to fill into your chest cavity, fill into other parts of your body. Goes down into your torso, goes down into your legs, down into your feet. Just imagine it filling your body, nourishing every cell in your body. Feel your feet grounded to the floor. Feel that breath as you breathe in. Just nourish those feet. Feel your hands. Feel your fingertips. Maybe wiggle your fingertips and just feel where they are in space. As you bring in that breath, feel that breath go out through your arms and into your fingertips. Just relax. Just let go of all that went on today. All the hooks and cords and responsibilities and things that aren't even you. Just cut the ties to those and just become yourself. Just allow yourself to just be calm and breathe for yourself. Take a couple more deep breaths. As you take those deep breaths, I want you to consciously take the feeling that you have now, that deep, relaxed feeling, and as you open your eyes, just take it with you. Realize that nothing's changed. It hasn't gone anywhere. You can access this anytime you want, any time of the day, anywhere you are. Because it's you. This is who we really are, is this relaxed, deep, conscious state. So open your eyes. Get readjusted. Just kind of feel whatever you're feeling. And I'm just going to read a passage. In doing this tonight, I was busy all day, and I didn't think too much about what I would say tonight, because to be honest with you, nothing really mind-blowing came up. Nothing really like some big lesson that I learned today. Lessons, yeah, but not like some earth-shattering lesson that I like was dying to tell you guys. I just have been continuing to do my work with anger, those what we think of as dark emotions, which are not dark at all. They actually can be really, really powerful. And when they're focused, anger can be focused into determination. Fear can be focused into resilience. So really it's just kind of your perspective. So by working with fear and anger and anxiety, it allows you to feel those feelings and allows you to feel the other feelings even more so. Love and appreciation and empathy and things like that. So doing that work that I've been doing with feeling emotions, especially the fearful and the anger and those types of emotions, which I experienced as a result of the assault that I had this past 2 weekends ago now. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was 2 weekends ago. Time flies. I'm still working on that, still processing that. I've got this little book here, so I'm just going to read it, just a small section. And this is, it's called How to Love. And I read this, a couple years ago, I think, on this. I did Facebook Lives on this, and I would pull out passages. So I'm doing it again. How to Love, and by the author, I'm going to butcher this, Taich Na Hana. I'm not sure. But it's a really good book. So this passage says, no self. So often, when we say I love you, we focus mostly on the idea of I, who is doing the loving, and less on the quality of the love that's being offered. This is because we are caught by the idea of self. We think we have a self, but there is no such thing as an individual, separate self. A flower is made only of non-flower elements, such as chlorophyll, sunlight, and water. If we were to remove all the non-flower elements from the flower, there would be no flower left. A flower cannot be by herself alone. A flower can only interbe with all of us. It's much closer to the truth. Humans are like this too. We can't exist by ourselves alone. We can only interbe. I am made only of non-me elements, such as the earth, the sun, my parents, my ancestors. In a relationship, if you can see the nature of interbeing between you and the other person, you can see that his suffering or her suffering is your own suffering, and your happiness is his own happiness. With this way of seeing, you speak and act differently. It gives you a different perspective. This in itself can relieve so much suffering. So just think about that a little bit, and have some things to kind of say about it, because I've been, in reading it, a couple things pop up for me. One is the idea of having a continuous spectrum of things. Like he talks about the bee and the flower. Well, actually, I don't think he mentions the bee, but I'm going to mention the bee because that's really a good. Everything's connected. There is no, for instance, a bee cannot exist without a flower. A flower cannot exist without a bee. Love cannot exist without hate. There's this, in this physical world, we have this, I forget what it's called, dichotomy? It's something. But we have this duality. Yeah, we have this duality. So light, dark. There can be no dark if there's no light. There can be no light if there's dark. So these are all the same thing. Light and dark is the same thing. It's just on different ends of a continuous spectrum. So the same thing with love and hate. So by working on kind of the, let's say, the dark side of your emotions, which they're not really dark, they're just emotions, but things like hate, anger, fear, anxiety, by trying to feel those, or at least not maybe trying to feel them, but when they come up, or trying to feel them, there could be a practice there. Really good practice is what I'm doing, actually trying to get them to come up because they've been stuffed down for all my life. But either consciously trying to have them come up by doing a practice, or just when they do come up, allowing them, not pushing them away. Because if you push them away, if you don't feel them, if you hide from them, if you reject them, if you don't accept them, then you can't accept the love, because it's the same thing, hate and love, and it's the same thing. It's in the same spectrum. And from a practical standpoint, I know this is true because I've experienced it in my life. So there's a difference between intellectually understanding something, head, versus knowing something. And I intellectually understand the idea of love and hate being on a continuous spectrum and being the same thing. It makes sense to me because of this duality that we exist in. But I understand it because I've experienced it. Throughout my life, I would always push down I had a lot of sad, scary emotions. And I got very, very skilled for survival's sake to push them down, not feel them, not feel the sad, not feel the scary, isolate myself with a wall around myself. Not physical, but energetic wall. But it being a wall, it's not a semi-permeable wall, meaning it doesn't selectively allow some things in and other things not. It's just a wall. So by putting up this wall to protect you from the fear and the anger and the disappointment and the negativity and anxiety and those emotions that you don't want to feel, the icky ones, then you're effectively putting up a wall for all your emotions. You're not going to allow in love. You're not going to allow in empathy. You're not going to allow in caring. You're not going to allow in beauty, because you can't block just one side. You can't just block the dark side, if you will, because the dark side's connected to the light side. Any Star Wars fans out here? So yeah, that passage really speaks to me about that. And then when you are able to do that, where it talks about no self, here we're talking about the idea of us not existing in a singularity. Again, we are connected to everything around us. And if we talk about loving a parent or a child or a friend or a lover, whatever it is, by us realizing this and them being if they're in some type of pain, when they're inside some type of pain, you're also in some type of pain. You can feel their pain and you can have empathy for their pain and really help relieve their suffering. So I'll talk about the duality of love and hate and all the other emotions that we have. There's polar opposites. And if we get into that and we start talking about ourselves, we have polar opposites in ourselves too. We have identities. We have lots and lots and lots of identities. Father, husband, teacher, golf pro, scuba diver, whatever you do, parent. All these are different identities that you take up, and they're all part of you. And it's natural to be able to have them. Doesn't mean you're not well. Because having anger and hate and fear and anxiety is just as important. It's part of you, just as the love and the calmness and all that is. Because you can't have love and calmness without the hate and the anger and the anxiety. And it's quite natural to, when you feel anger and anxiety, it's natural. Everybody has it. It's just going to come up. And the trick is you need to feel it. And when you feel it, you get through it. And then you're able to find the other side. Really, really feel it. If you have to cry, if you have to, whatever it is. If you push it down, it's going to come back up. So by letting it come out of you, maybe I have a punching bag. I love my punching bag. I got it for Christmas. And when I feel anger, I'm going to take care of it. My punching bag. Let's get our body involved in this, okay? Because I find, and I think that it can be really, really beneficial. I'll turn the light on so we can see. I find it can be really, really beneficial. It's been proven. Things have been written about it. I remember when my daughter used to take her to counseling, and the counselor used to say to her, if you feel angry, punch a pillow, kind of thing. And I bumped it up a notch. I got a punching bag. I don't know if you have one at home, but if you have a pillow, whatever you have, something that you can hit or pound or bang, that's not going to hurt you. And don't hit anybody else. And just wail on it. Just get that anger out. That's another way of doing it, is just feeling it. And that'll intensify it, and that'll get it out. And it'll feel so good. I'm just going to hit this for a while. It just feels so good. Maybe kick it if you have a bag or something. And by getting that anger out, that's a great idea. Yeah, thank you. So by getting that anger out, you're processing it. You're not stuffing it down and feeling. The worst thing you can feel is guilty. And what oftentimes is, if you feel guilty about feeling angry, then you start turning the anger in on yourself. Because I know because I've done this, is you're like, oh, I'm angry about something or a person or something that happened. And with me, it used to be, I was angry about usually not doing something I wanted to do. Like, maybe I was, just give an example, like maybe I was at a bar or something like that, and there was music playing or there was karaoke, and I really, really had the desire to get up there and wanted to sing because I love to sing. But I used to not do it because I was afraid. I was scared to death of doing it. And what would happen is I wouldn't do it, and I'd get angry at myself. I turn that anger internal, and that's the worst anger you can have. It's the most detrimental for you. So by externally releasing that anger and taking like an inanimate object, like a bag or a pillow, and creating that anger and saying, okay, well, that's this bag and this pillow is a person or a situation. And just by hammering on it over and over and over again, I do it until I'm exhausted sometimes and I can't do it anymore. Then it gets it out. And you will be amazed at such a relief you will have. And you'll find on the other side is peace and calmness and joy. But if you stuff it down, it's going to come back up. What we resist persists. So yeah, I encourage you to try that. Um, it's a great exercise for any type of anger you have. Um, I love kicking my bag. It's interesting too because there's a fine line between anger, hate, and love, right? Um, that's why I believe, well, if you're really connected, if you really, with a spouse, typically, I'm just thinking of divorces, I went through this, is there's a fine line between you loving somebody and hating them and just hating them. Why is that? Why is that? It's because they're the same. They're the same thing. They're just different ends of the spectrum, the continuation of that spectrum. So, in order to feel one, you have to feel the other. So, the point is, don't stuff down anger, don't stuff down your negative feelings, don't stuff down anxiety. Feel it, enhance it, um, and you will have much more peace in your life, and you'll find gifts that you never knew were there. And I will let you guys have a great evening and hope you found this useful. And I will be back again tomorrow. Let's see. Out, hit something. Um, and you guys have a great night. Okay. Bye.